let's talk a little bit, let's turn our attention a little bit to what you're seeing in like franchise trends, because you
Sure.
also are a consultant in that space and you've been selling franchises forever. So what do we need to know about that right now? What are you seeing?
Couple things. I think a lot of franchisors, they they're not doing too good a job at creating content directed at attracting franchisees. I'd say that a lot of the content out there is very boilerplate, very boring. We'll skip over it immediately. All the value is kind of lost and overlooked. I also think it's also me. It's all about the franchisor, unfortunately, or it also, just like the loyalty conversation, has the typical talking points of proven system, lots of support, and it's just, oh, like everyone else. Even the bad brands have the same exact talking points. Um, my I've been trying to create more content that shows like different angles of what it's like to be a franchisee. And last year I was working with a different brand where I was just creating content to show case studies of how franchisees have actually made money, or how they've been able to lower their build out costs. And I've also been able to show like profiles of franchisees and where they came from. And it just makes it more relatable. It makes franchisees feel more comfortable jumping on, like they're in good company. And last year, just in a few months, I was able to help a brand award like 50 units across the country, just for sharing. I'd say that creating content wasn't the main thing, but it definitely helps add, again, the human element, the insightful element versus just marketing, advertising. So that's one thing I'm seeing in this space. Second thing is, I'm not sure if you saw my LinkedIn profile, but it's, happy, engaged, and profitable franchisees are the small hinges that swing big doors. I'm really upset that, franchising is such an incredible business model at its core. But just like any industry where there's a lot of money to be made, there's also a lot of bad actors that take advantage of that. And also, there's a lot of franchisors who may not be bad actors, but they're short-sighted in how they view they start seeing franchisees as numbers or an ATM machine. And I always tell, franchisors nowadays that, hey, like, you need to be pretty well capitalized to do this business, because you're not going to be making money for quite a while. Like, you need to also just be solely focused on generating. Your main revenue should be mainly royalties. Please try not to tamper with trying to make money on equipment. Try not to make money on food supply, and all these other things where they just realize they can have the power to make money off of franchisees every step of the way. That's where you start getting into trouble. That's where you start getting short-sighted. I usually tell franchisors that, if you're able to like play the long game, make money off of royalties and also your corporate stores, and just focus on those as your main true revenue, and you make it so that the franchisees can be as successful and profitable as possible, guess what? They have no problem jumping over hoops for you. They will shout you on the mountaintops and bring in more franchisees. They're going to want to open 20 stores for you. They'll make your company more valuable, and there's a pathway upwards versus just having 10 or 20 franchisees where you are milking them dry, and that's your ceiling on your growth.